So how do you take one single, really comprehensive article, what we're calling the master asset, and turn it into a whole month of social media content?
And not just that, we're talking a 5-day email course,
Mm.
video scripts, even a custom software tool.
Right. A tool you can build without writing any code yourself.
And we're not just, hitting summarize in a text box here. This is about multiplying your expertise, really, by an order of magnitude, all without writing a single new word.
That is the mission for this deep dive. We're breaking down the exact workflow we use. We started with this really detailed guide on healthy meal prep for busy parents, and now we're going to multiply it.
Welcome back. So in the last phase, we used our dual AI setup, that's ChatGPT as the creator and Microsoft Copilot as the critic, to actually build that master asset to make sure it was expert level.
But, a giant text file sitting in a Google Doc doesn't really do anything. It doesn't build a business or get traffic. It just sits there.
Exactly. A great article is just the raw material. You need radical repackaging. Think of it like a giant Thanksgiving turkey. You cook that turkey once, right? But for the next week, you're turning it into soup and sandwiches and salads. Each meal is a totally different experience from the same ingredient.
And that ingredient for us is the master asset. You're just transforming its utility.
That's the idea.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Our roadmap today has, I think, 4 main steps. First, turning that article into a content calendar instantly. Then building these really high-value tools without code.
Then monetization strategies, and crucially, the big mistakes to avoid.
Let's do it. So let's start with filling that content calendar. This is part 1. I think the most common mistake people make is just asking the AI for, generic summaries.
It's just boring. It creates noise, not value. The real insight here isn't just that you need a hook. It's how you prompt the AI to find a hook that actually works psychologically.
So you're using the Critic Copilot for that, not as a summarizer, but as a strategist.
Exactly, a viral marketing strategist. We specifically tell Copilot to scan the asset and pull out details that trigger 2 things: curiosity and urgency. We don't ask for posts.
You ask for pain points.
Pain points that promise a concrete solution.
I love that one example from the guide. Instead of just talking about food waste, the prompt came back with the line, "Stop throwing away $50 of vegetables every week."
That grabbed you immediately. And the post that came from it was super specific, pulled right from the master asset. It was about the paper towel trick for spinach.
Right, to make it last for 10 days.
It's actionable, it's specific, and it's ready to go.
Yeah.
You basically eliminate that whole blank screen problem. Suddenly you have like 10 or 20 really potent social media posts instantly.
Okay, so that's the rapid fire content. But what about building trust over time? Let's talk about the email sequence. It seems a lot smarter to break up a huge article into something like a 5-day challenge. We called ours Healthy Wallet, Healthy Kids.
This is all about smart packaging. Instead of sending someone a giant PDF that they're never going to read, you drip feed the value. It keeps them engaged.
So we prompted for 5 specific emails.
Yeah, 5 specific outlines. Email 1 was about shopping and saving money. Email 2, the essential tools. Email 3, the quick recipes. 4 was storage hacks. And 5 was reheating tricks that kids would actually eat.
So you're serving the same core content, just framed for different preferences. Some people want the big article, others want the daily challenge.
Right. And you're using the exact same text for both, just framed differently.
And then there's video. A blog post is structured totally differently from what you need for, say, a 60-second TikTok.
Oh, absolutely. Video has to be conversational rapid fire. So we asked Copilot to take the recipe section and turn it into a 60-second script.
And the prompt is really specific.
It had to start with a loud question, give 3 quick tips, and then end with a strong call to action, like, comment recipe below for the full guide. That makes sure the tone and pacing actually fit the platform.
So if all this content is coming from the same master asset, how crucial is it really to keep separating the creator and the critic roles for these kinds of shifts?
It's vital. The critic forces you to repackage by analyzing the platform you're going to. The creator just writes text. The critic ensures that text fits the new format, the new tone, the new psychology.
So the critic imposes strategic constraints.
Precisely.
Okay, let's move to part 2. This is the shift from just being a writer to being a creator who actually builds things. We've seen that people search for mortgage calculator, not how to calculate a mortgage.
Right. Tools beat articles. Interactive tools give you a personalized, immediate answer. That's incredibly valuable. And, historically, building those tools was really expensive and complex.
But the dual AI setup kind of demolishes that barrier.
Completely.
So let's talk about that three-step code loop we used to create something like a grocery budget calculator.
Okay, so step one is finding the idea. You don't guess. You ask Copilot, your critic, what simple web-based tool would fit the content you already have.
And since our asset was about saving money, it suggested what? An ingredient matcher or a grocery budget calculator?
And we went with the calculator. So step two is writing the actual code. And this is where it gets really interesting. We turn back to ChatGPT, the creator.
The prompt is key here.
The prompt has to be very structured. We tell it, write the full grocery budget calculator, output all the code, the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, in a single unified file.
Why a single file?
It just makes deployment instant. You copy one block of text, you paste it into a web builder, and it just works. And we also gave it specific rules for the calculations.
Right, the user inputs their weekly budget and family size.
And it outputs the spending breakdown by percentages. 30% for proteins, 30 for veggies, 20 for grains, 20 for extras.
Wow. I mean, just imagine generating a fully functioning, complex tool like that in minutes. It completely skips the months of traditional development. That's a huge advantage.
It is. It really is a moment of wonder.
Mm-hmm.
But that first version of the code, it might work perfectly, but it's probably going to be ugly.
Right.
And that brings us to step three, testing and fixing, the feedback loop.
So you test the code, you see this calculator with like bright yellow text on a white background. What's the move?
You go back to Copilot. You prompt your critic to act as a professional web designer, a UI/UX expert, and you ask it to critique the code the creator gave you.
So you're asking the critic to write the prompt that will fix the creator's work.
Exactly. So you might say something like, act as a senior UI/UX engineer. Critique this code for the calculator and generate a new prompt to fix the bad color contrast and add a pie chart visualization.
Okay, so it spots the flaw, it explains the fix like an expert would, and then it gives you the exact words to send back to the creator. You're just the conductor.
You're managing the feedback loop.
So does using this loop mean you have to know any of the coding languages yourself?
Nope, not at all. You just need to be able to copy, paste, and then tell the AI critic what you want to change about the design.
All right, let's talk about the money. Part 3 is monetization. Money doesn't just show up on its own. You have to strategically build money traps into your content, things like affiliate links.
For affiliates, we use Copilot again. We ask it to act as an affiliate marketing expert, scan the master asset, and find specific products that we could recommend naturally.
But how do you stop it from just suggesting, the same high commission products that everyone else is already pushing?
That's a great question. You have to be strategic with the prompt. We told Copilot, identify 10 products, but prioritize solutions for niche problems or ones that are less saturated, and tie them back to a specific pain point in the asset.
So that forces it past the obvious choices.
Exactly. It makes sure the product actually fits and solves a problem the reader has. Like linking a specific slow cooker right in the section about batch cooking, or a set of glass containers where we talk about storage.
You're basically shopping for the reader, not just pushing links at them.
That's the goal.
The other big money trap is the lead magnet, the free thing you give away to get emails.
And again, we just ask Copilot for ideas based on the article.
Yeah.
It might suggest the 5-day meal prep starter plan. Then we just use the creator to write the actual checklist or PDF.
Okay, what about part 4? Actually getting found on Google. SEO. I mean, traditionally, that's just a lot of guessing keywords.
It used to be. But Copilot has live internet access, so it can find what people are actually searching for right now. We prompt it to act as an SEO expert and find us keywords, specifically long-tail keywords.
And those are the longer phrases, right? Like 3 or 4 words that show someone is really looking for something specific.
Exactly. So Copilot might find cheap meal prep for 4 people with picky toddlers, or budget-friendly family dinners on a fixed income, much more specific than just meal prep.
And then you take those phrases.
And you use ChatGPT to naturally weave them into the introduction and the first couple of sections. The key is to make it sound friendly and conversational, not like a robot stuffed it with keywords.
So if the AI finds these strong keywords, is that enough? Or is the overall structure still the most important thing?
The structure, your master asset, that's the foundation. It has to be solid. The keywords are just the, high-octane fuel you need for the search engines.
Let's wrap up with part V, the lessons learned. We're moving really fast with this workflow, so I imagine it's easy to make mistakes if you're not careful. What are the big ones to avoid?
Okay, first one, losing the master asset. When you get all excited creating dozens of social posts and videos and code snippets, it's really easy to forget where the original source of truth is.
So always save that core document somewhere safe.
Always. It's your single source of authority.
Okay, mistake number 2 is a classic AI problem, not checking the facts. Hallucinations, especially with numbers.
You have to read the content. The AI might just invent a price. Say you can buy 10 pounds of beef for $5. You are the pilot. The AI is the co-pilot. You have to check the numbers, especially if your guide is about saving money.
You also mentioned something called prompt drift earlier.
Yeah. For anyone who hasn't run into this, prompt drift is that frustrating moment when the model starts forgetting the rules you gave it 50 turns ago,
Uh-huh.
and you get garbage output.
I can imagine.
And I'll be honest, I still wrestle with prompt drift myself, especially if I've been in a session for a couple of hours debugging code or something. That human oversight has to be constant. It's critical.
And the final mistake gets back to the whole dual AI philosophy, using just one AI for both creation and critique.
You need that friction. If you ask one system to grade its own homework, you're just going to get soft, self-congratulatory feedback. You have to maintain that separation. ChatGPT for creation, Copilot for critique.
2 different systems for an objective quality check.
Exactly.
So when you look at everything we produced, we started with a blank screen.
And from that, we generated a huge authoritative guide, a month's worth of social posts that are optimized with hooks for each platform, a 5-day email course, video scripts, a custom interactive software tool.
And a full monetization strategy on top of it
All without hiring a team of writers and coders and marketers. The future of this kind of work, I think, belongs to the conductor of an AI orchestra.
I like that.
It's not about who can type the fastest anymore. It's about who can manage these incredibly powerful tools to execute a strategy.
So for everyone listening, don't just close the tab after this deep dive. We'd really encourage you to pick one thing. Maybe it's the outline for that grocery budget calculator or the framework for the 5-day challenge. And just open up your dual AI setup and try to create it right now.
This whole method proves that your expert knowledge, when you package it correctly across all these different formats, becomes a sustainable engine for traffic and revenue.
Okay.
It's not just a one-time blog post anymore.
Go make something amazing.